Hello friends, welcome back to this tutorial about this project done step by step on Revit. On the previous video we started modifying some elements in this house, where the last section was about editing the boundary of the floors. Now I'm going to the section view, because the next step is changing this room, because I need enough height between the staircase and the floor. To do this, let's go to the Annotate tab and click on Detail Line. With this command, I can create lines exclusively for the current view. Usually we use them to show a detail in the drawing, or in this case, it will help me to modify the room above the stairs. Let's start drawing the line from the floor. And I'm going to make for the height 2200 mm of length. Then, draw a new line to the right until it matches the exterior support of this stair. Finally, I make another line, this one vertical, to intersect with the floor, and press Escape at the end. Next, it's easy. I only need to move this wall, it's this one on the plan, to align with the detail line below. As you can see, I can pick up the wall and drag it, but sometimes it's hard to have a good accuracy with this method. Press Escape, and in my opinion, it's better with the Move command or with Align. I'm going to show you how this works, as I find it really useful. It's simple. Select the line as a reference, and next, I'm going to click on a reference line of an object, this one, and look that it moves exactly to that place. As a curiosity, the floor was adjusted automatically, and this happens when the boundary is aligned with the wall. We are again at the 3D view, and the next step, we are going to align the door with the window here. In this case, as we need to align elements located on different floors, the best way is to open the elevation where I can see this facade. It's the south elevation. Now with the command Align, first I need to set a reference line at this side of the window, and then I need to pick the entity to align, this side of the door, and now the objects are aligned. Now I want to take the opportunity to talk about constraints. Can you see this lock here? Now it's open, but if I click to close it, now both elements are constrained with this reference, meaning that if I move the window, the door also comes along to keep the alignment. This is a very important and useful tip in Revit. Also, there is another tip that I didn't mention. The exterior wall has this pattern with too many lines, making it difficult to select references, as the pointer snaps to every line. To facilitate, we can change these graphics. Let's select the wall, go to Edit Type, click on Edit Structure, and now we have to go to the Finish phase, click in the material, and in this window we have to go to the Graphics tab, and here we have the pattern. I'm going to click on it to change it, and in this list, let's go to the top and select No Pattern. Finally, click on OK, close all these windows, and now it would be easier if I want to make modifications here. I'm going also to change the visual style to this one, shaded. It's more interesting. Okay, again in the 3D view, we are going now to place a smaller roof in this part over here. This time I need to go to the roof level view. And we are going to insert another roof by footprint. Like before, we will use Pick Walls and keep an overhang of 300 mm. Then click first in those two walls. And then we will not add a slope for the front edge. So let's remove the tick here and click on the wall. Next, with the line tool, I'm going to connect this point with the line on the left. And finally, I can trim to corner to remove this part which is not needed. Let's accept the changes. And now, would you like to attach the highlighted walls to the roof? Let's attach, and due to my answer, you can see that the wall at the right is now attached to the roof. However, the one at the left wasn't, and I need to do it manually. Let's select this wall, and the one at the left, because both I need to attach to the roof. Press Ctrl and select this one again. Now go to Attach and click on the roof to finish this step. Now, all the walls are attached to the roofs, as far as I am aware of. But you can see this small roof is not very effective yet, because I have to join it to the main one. And there is a very simple tool for this. Click on this button, Join and Join Roof. Select the edge you want to attach, and finally select the face of the main roof you would like to join to. There is a little problem here. This part hasn't joined properly, and I will tell you why. Go back to the roof level. Let's use the same tool, but this time to unjoin the roof. Now I select the same edge. Okay, the roof is back in its original position. Now I'm going to double click on it to open the edit mode, and that problem happened because this roof was overlapped with the main roof here in this part. So I'm going to drag this line a bit down. Now that they don't touch, I can accept the changes. Let's repeat the process again. And you can see now it's much better. Okay, now we are going to create a railing to this balcony. So let's go this time to the first floor view. And I'm going to activate the command railing. This shares the same method as floors, but this time we will pick the line tool, which is the default option by the way. Let's set an offset distance of 100 mm, so the railing will not be in the limit of the floor. It's better to leave a space here. Then I click on Chain to create a railing easily all along the slab. I will make 3 lines, but on the left side I'm going to link it with the wall here. And the remaining segment, let's push it down to the intersection. I click to accept changes, and now I can go to the 3D view to have a general look of the balcony in this perspective. On the properties, you can change the railing type, as there are a couple of them already loaded here. Finally, to access to the balcony, I think there is something we should change. Of course, we could jump over this window, but maybe it would be better with a door. Let's go to the first floor. First, I'm going to delete the current window, and then go to the command door. I have to save the project, and then just go here and insert it more or less there. The exact position is not important because we are going to align it with the window. To do this, I'm going to open the south elevation, then I'm going to the Modify tab, click on Align. Now for the reference line of alignment, select the center reference of the window, and next, click on the center reference of this door. Then you can also lock the constraint in case we want to move the elements along this wall respecting the alignment. Later, if I want to change the door family, I go to the Insert tab, click on Load Autodesk Family, and search for the door family you would like. As an example, I'm going to choose this one. Click on Load, select the door, click on the family in the properties, and choose a type of this family that I just inserted. Now let's return the topic about floors. Do you remember? We've placed a floor for the first two levels, but not for the roof level. In order to avoid having the roof over us, I'm going to make another one for this level. To make it easier, let's hide the roof with the temporary Hide Isolate. This time I'm going to select the small one, click on the glasses, and choose Hide Category. With this, I'm hiding all the roofs that are visible in this view. Now, let's activate Floor and pick all the exterior walls, and don't forget to click on the internal side of each wall. Confirm the changes. Then I'm going to click on Attach here, so the interior walls on this first floor will attach to its bottom. Then, there is a warning. Highlighted walls miss the highlighted targets. This is actually referring the 5 exterior walls. If you click in this button, it shows the 5 warnings with a different wall being highlighted. As they are attached to the roof, they were not modified, which is actually what I want. Click on OK. Here, yes. And when you look at the section view, you can see the walls are attached on the side, but they keep attached to the roof. On the next chapter, we will insert ceilings in Revit. Usually, ceilings are not visible in floor plans, because if they were, we couldn't see the objects below. For that reason, we have ceiling plans and we can find them on the project browser. So, I'm going to open the ceiling plan for the ground floor, and then going to activate the command ceiling. For the type, the one by default, called generic, is invisible right now because it is in white color. So I recommend to select a compound ceiling with a grid, so it's going to be easier to see. Now, currently, the option automatic ceiling is turned on, and it means I create a ceiling in an area closed by walls. Now let's hover the pointer over the floor plan, and you can see I would create a ceiling for everything between the exterior walls. Why is that happening? Actually, the problem here is due to the height offset from level, as currently is 2600 mm, which is above the top offset of the walls. So I'm going to set a height offset from level for the ceiling a bit below. I think 2450 should be fine. Finally, as you can see, now it works, and I can create the ceiling automatically for each room. Then, for the hall and corridor, as I don't want to cover here where I have the stairs, I'm going to change the method to sketch ceiling, and with this, I just draw it in the same way as for the stairs, rooms, or roofs. When I finish filling all the boundary, I click on the tick, and the last ceiling is placed on the ground floor. Nice! Now we can open the first floor view. The ceiling plan, of course. and repeat the same process. The height of set is correct, so I just need to click on every room again, and this time there aren't stairs anymore, so it's easy. Now let's have a look in a section view. We can see the ceilings right below a floor, and the distance from the level is the one I defined, 2450. This new chapter is about assigning rooms to the floor plans. Later, this will be useful for creating room schedules and to complement the building information model. We will start with the ground floor, and to create a room, we have to click on the command located on the Architecture tab. To place a room, I just need to hold the pointer in an area surrounded by walls and click with the left button. Then you can continue adding the remaining rooms and look that each blue area is the room boundary. One curiosity: I can use the help of these track lines if I want to align the labels, so they will look more organized. The last one will be the hall corridor, and press Escape to exit. Now we can start renaming the labels of each room. That's easy. Place the pointer over the text, double-click on it, and now you can rename the room with the proper name. This one is the living room. OK, now we can keep changing the name for all the others. And please note, each room tag with the current type, this is important, has a number which started from number 1 and continues so on, the room name, and its area calculated both on square meters and square feet. Of course, it doesn't have to be necessary in this way, as by default there are other types that we can choose from. The current one is name, number, and both areas. This will be only the name and the number, and that one instead, if I just want the name and the area in square meters. Now I'm going to fast forward this part, and you will be free to assign the names that you would like in this exercise. This is just an example. OK, I have just the room 7 left. Now I want to take the opportunity to introduce to you the room separator. It's the button at the right. Click on it. And this is how it works. I draw a line, for example, between this corner and the opposite wall, to divide this area in two. The former room is now smaller, and now the boundary has its limits at the room separator. Also, look that the area was updated. Now it's only 8 square meters, instead of the previous 23. Let's rename this as corridor, for example. And finally, I need to create an extra room for the area where I have the stairs. For the name, it can be entrance hall. OK, now we have to go to the first floor and do exactly the same. Open the view. Now press the button Room. And then fill in all this floor plan. This time I decided to not separate the corridor and the stairs area. And another tip, we cannot add this slab for the balcony as a room. Notice as well that the numbers continue from where I left last time. As I finished with number 8, the first room I inserted here started with number 9. And yes, it's not possible to have the same number for 2 different rooms. But we can change the numbers. What we cannot do is have the same number for 2 different rooms. Then, rename each tag with the correct rooms, or choose your personal ones. Now let's learn 2 couple of tips. To select a room, I need to approach the tag with the pointer, move a bit, and I have to click in the moment when I can see these crossing lines and the room boundary. Also, if I try to move the room, the only thing I can displace is just these crossing lines, because the room area is defined by the walls. When the room is selected, I can change the number, name, or other identity data. While if I select the tag instead, I can only set the properties of the tag itself, like the orientation or the angle. Okay, so there is no time remaining for today, and this means we have to continue on the next part. See you on the next video.